Hi, I'm Jess Badillo with the Habra Journal, and I'm here with Jess Badillo, running for the Habra City Council for this year's elections. Jess, thank you for joining us.
Jay, thank you, and thank you for Journal for inviting me and allowing me to be here with you.
Great. What made you want to run for City Council, and can you explain some of your qualifications?
Well, I don't want to make the story too long, but Jay, 31 years ago, when we were living in Los Angeles, my wife and I decided that we needed to move to Orange County to be closer to work. And so in our quest to find a place to live, we drove to this small town of La Habra. I mean, it's the northernmost city. And so it's the first city we drove by on the way to other cities. On the way back, I said, let's drive through here. And we really liked what we saw. We really liked the community. It's a small, quaint, back then I knew it wasn't freeway direct, but we really liked that, you know. And then we struggled to find a home here. And it was October. I'll tell you a story. It was October. And she said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go trick-or-treating with the kids to the Habra. And I said, well, you go, I'm going to stay and give candies. So they came. And when they got back home, my kids, big smiles, they were little, bags full of candy. I said to my son, how did it go? He said, Dad, beautiful houses, so nice people. I love it, Dad. When can we move there, you know? And I said, what happened? He says, you know, we walked up this big driveway. We don't have them here. Big driveway. And when we got to the top, he only gave us one candy. He was disappointed, but I said, who your bag is for? He says, oh, Dad, that's because there were places that had a bowl of candy. He says, take one. And I looked at Jess, you didn't. So every time we passed by that house, we laugh. We still laugh today. But the point I'm making is that 31 years ago, we decided to move to La Habra. My wife, who's not easy to impress, really fell in love with the people here. And she said, this is where I want to raise the kids. So we did. So I'm running because I'm heavily invested in the city of La Habra. I believe in La Habra. I love the quality of life in La Habra. My neighbors are not just neighbors, they're friends. We know each other. We celebrate each other's birthdays with big events. So the question is, why am I running? Because it's the right thing for me to do. I've been involved in the city and so forth, and this is just a natural step to the next level. I've served them for 10 years in different capacities. And now I want to serve in a capacity that I feel will help the council move it in the direction I feel that the general public wants to go in.
Where do you see, talking about La Habra, where do you see La Habra now and kind of where it can go?
Well, I got to tell you, I'm really happy and thrilled to see where La Habra is right now. I mean, I was here when there was very little thing going on, okay? And now I see new homes going up everywhere. And I'm accustomed to that because I worked in South County a lot, and Irvine companies growing everywhere, okay? So it's good to see that we're doing that now and knowing that we're going to have more housing for our residents and so forth. So I'm really thrilled to see. I like that. I like the new businesses that are coming in. We need those to keep it vital, the community going. And I think as long as it serves the greater need of our residents, I'm with it, okay? Where do we go for this? Well, I think that type of growth brings upon us the most responsibility. We definitely have to have a clear vision of which way we go to make sure we're on a sustainable growth. Right? And what I mean by that is that as we grow, we can't lose sight of what we have here, because I'm a very strong proponent of small businesses. All right? And you know, I believe that if a business invests in you, then it's the city's obligation to invest in them. All right? And so the small cities have small companies, business owners have my support. I'm constantly engaging, for example, at La Central Bakery, Johnny, who owns that. I got him involved in the community, and he loves it. I get a lot of support for any extracurricular activity that the city has from George, from Salinas Tires, from Syracuse at USA Collision, just to name a few. But that's because I know that they want to participate in the city, and I know that we need to engage them in it, okay? So I'm thrilled about the growth. I think that it's a great move for the city of La Habra, but we can't lose sight of the fact that we need to also pay attention to small businesses that we have.
One of the things that most cities are concerned about is always public safety, and public safety is a prime concern. Recently, there were a couple burglaries at Central Drugs, and there have been there's been a little uptick in property theft, and it's got some residents concerned. If elected, what would you do to work with public safety and help the community understand that La Habra is a safe city?
That's important, because you're absolutely right. In addition to having pretty homes, great stores to go to, we have to feel safe here. And so in regards to what you're saying about the burglary, I know this from my background in business, that burglars are opportunistics. Okay, if there's an opportunity, they're going to take it. It's hard to answer the question because I don't know what protocol is with the city. And I know there's a reality to what I want to say. Okay, but I would certainly confer with the police department, see what they're doing and so forth, and bring a lot of the services available through them to bear on that, to remediate it and so forth. Ideally, what would be I would visit him. I would visit the owner. And first of all, I would tell him that I want to make sure he understands that the city is very concerned and about his safety, his employee safety, and his building, his business, because we respect life and property. And so I want to make sure that he understands that he has our full support, I want to make sure that he's safe. We might connect him with someone, maybe simple things like lights, additional lights. But more than anything, I think what you're referring to, it is something that's prevalent in a lot of cities. We need to engage the public, and whether that means outreach programs like Neighborhood Watch or Community Watch, that might be one. I know that there's talk about maybe additional police, but I think we really have to engage the public. And in particular, the area you're referring to, we need to communicate it to them in Spanish. We need to realize that who we are as a community. We're a very diversified community. We may be small, but we're very diversified, and in the diversity is where our strength lies. So we need to incorporate them in solving their problems. Who better than them that walks those streets up and down and know what's going on? They have to know where they can call, maybe a non-emergency number where they can call and report things, okay? But make them keenly aware, this is what we need your help in, okay? But I wouldn't stop there. I would talk to them, and then the neighbors, the business neighbors, let them know, what happened. I want you to know we're available to you also, and also make them aware of all the resources that are doing that. Because as I mentioned to you before, if we do not engage the public, no matter how well laid plans we are, it won't happen. It won't happen. It has to happen, and we have to do it in that way. I'm fully confident we have the police department. I've met with them before for other occasions. Great people. I mean, I'm so impressed with what they do. The Young Explorers, I'm so impressed with what they do with the city. So it's just bringing their talents to bear on a problem. And really is, I'm an optimistic person. I believe that we can handle that and we can find solutions to that. Can we eliminate it entirely? No, that won't. I don't think that's possible, but we could certainly make it to the point that everybody feels safe in their home and in the community to shop where they want to shop.
Good, yeah. It just helps calm some of the nerves if you engage the community and let them know they have a voice and that kind of stuff. Exactly. Another question is, you talked about the homes and development, and there are a lot of homes from Cerveto up on Whittier Boulevard and the apartments that are going in on Beach Boulevard, which is great and shows growth for the community. But yet there are a lot of commercial properties that are vacant, like the Whittier, stretch of Whittier Boulevard where the car wash used to be, and then the Birch Ford property, and those kind of things that kind of left vacant. I know there's limitations that City Council can do, but if elected, how would you work with economic development to kind of spur some growth in that?
Well, as a community commissioner of services, I spoke to Andrew Ho quite a few times about that, and I always felt, why are we not attracting certain type of businesses here, outdoor cafes and so forth? And I realized what we're dealing with. We're not freeway close. That's very important. We're not freeway close, okay? Therefore, we have to do what anyone else who's wanting to grow is have to look internally and externally. We have to have a way to advertise outside the area, to go after them, not wait for them to come to us, to go after them so we can be selective on who we'd like to have. So that's why I mentioned to you a clear vision. We have to have a vision of what we want. We just can't have people knocking on our doors and saying, I want to be here, which is great. But if we had a vision, then we say, okay, this is what we have in vision, okay? And oftentimes you mention the commercial building, but what comes to mind to me is downtown La Habra. That to me is, downtown area is the heart of this community. Okay, and we've got to work on that. We got to build it up. Okay, we really do. We have to have a sustainable growth. We have to engage people to do that, and that's what I do outside that. But for those that are there, because I mentioned you concerned about small business, I'll give you an example of what happened just last evening. Okay, we have to reach out to the businesses that are there, and reach out means that maybe I don't have to depend so much, if I'm allowed to economic development. I frequent places that maybe others don't frequent, okay? And I hear back, and I say, well, why not? How about finding out who wants to grow? And how about being supportive and helping me get there? Last night, I was at a batting cage with my grandson, It's the one here on what is it? Cypress.
Yeah.
Okay, and half the people there were from Whittier. And I'm saying, oh, I hope this guy doesn't open a satellite place in Whittier, and we'll lose it. So the owner wasn't there, but I said, would you be interested in expanding this? Because this is what it is, okay? And those are the kind of things that we have to do. I shop and live in some places. Other council people shop and live in some place. So we have to be proactive in that way. We always have to think, what can I do for my city? And that's what I do. You know, I took that. I was at a ball game, same thing, and half the team that my grandson plays in are from La Habra. I'm thinking, how come you're not playing La Habra? Well, the story's too long to go here, but I think those are the things we have to do. We can't always wait for it to come to us, okay? We have to share those ideas. We have to plant seeds. We have to look at things that are somewhere else. You know, there was someone, I forget who said this, but you know, some people look at things as they are and say why, and I look at things and say why not, okay? And that's what I've done with my mom, with David and the city. When I go to travel the cities, I look at it and go, well, why can't we have this? Right. We're entitled. We can do it. It's a matter of how do we get it done? And we have so much talent here. I am so impressed with the city staff, with just the individuals completely in La Habra, okay? They're giving hard, their dedication to the city, that I don't think anything's beyond us. I really don't. It's just a matter of how do we get together and prioritize this, okay? How do I share my thoughts with you? Let's come together, okay? Alone I can't do a thing. I can talk only, okay? But together we can build. And those are the things, the qualities that were taught to me by greater people than I am, okay? And I'm eager to share them. I am really eager to share them. I think change is upon us, diversity is upon us, and you know what? I am that change. I am that diversity. And so I say, you know, let's embrace each other and let's go forward. I mean, the future is ours. We're only bound by whatever our limits of imagination and what we want to do. That's how I see it.
That's great. Yeah. Last question. Reaching out, since we're trying to let the community know who the candidates are, what's something that you might want to share with the community about who you are that they might not know, or that you want to let them know about you?
Well, you know, I think I just skipped over the things that I've done with the city. I was a commissioner from 2007 to 2016, was involved in projects that involved a lot of nonprofits, and got to meet some really great people and understood the suffering of a lot of people. And my heart's in it, and I wish I could have done more. I'm a passionate human being. I don't know if that comes across. I hope it does. I'm very passionate. I'm really dedicated. I'm a family man. I'm just like my neighbors. I'm a family man. I've been in the community 31 years. My kids all grew up here, graduated from local schools. I'm proud of that. We have deep roots here. This is our community. And all I'm asking for is the opportunity to serve you in a different capacity, and I know I won't fail you. I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot of challenges out there, but I think with you and me together, that we can overcome any problem. I mean, we can do it.
All right. Great. That's all we have time for. Thanks a lot, Jess.
Thank you, Jay.
All right.
Thank you, Jay.
And good luck in November.
Thank you so much, Jay.